Hello and welcome to Reading Seminar 7. My name is Kat Berg and I will be going through this with you. And my partner that helped me create all this is Darla Dresselmeyer. On this first page, we have our Reading Seminar 7 and Disciplinary Literacy Standards. These are the standards that we use in Reading Seminar, and we also use them in all other subjects, no matter if you're teaching math, science. I'm actually a math teacher myself, and you actually do use these. A typical day in Reading Seminar 7, so you're going to begin the day off with a read aloud. And this can be any novel you select from the library. There will be a list available to you to choose from. While you're doing your read aloud, students have the options. They can chart, draw, write something in their journals or on their iPad, have a one-sentence summary. After you get through read aloud, you have 10 or 15 minutes. You're going to do a mini lesson, and your mini lessons will all be from your text and lessons book. You can choose to do a text set or a strategy lesson from that book, which I will show you later on as we get through. For 20 minutes then after that, you will do independent reading where the kids will have a book of their choice and they will read it during class. And then the last 5 to 10 minutes will be written reflection or a response in their journals or on the iPad, however you choose. So now we're going to look at what a typical week in Reading Seminar looks like. On a Monday, these are optional if you'd like to do this, but I would highly suggest doing this. You can begin with read aloud and have the kids comment or respond on their iPad. This will be for 10 minutes. And then for 20 minutes after that, you can do a strategy lesson, which this is in your text and lessons book, which is the textbook we provide for you. And after that, begin with having students do independent reading for 15 minutes, and then close out the day or the hour with a reflection or response in their journals. Tuesday, you're going to begin with read aloud and then have a class discussion on it to make sure all kids are on the same page and they understand what's going on. And then you're going to do a text set lesson, which this is also in the text and lessons book that was provided for you. And with this text set lesson, it'd be good for you to do a 10 to 15 minute writing activity to go along with it within the 20 minutes. And then independent reading for 15 minutes, and then close out the hour with reflection or responses in the journal. And you can use the journal prompt questions that will be provided for you. On a Wednesday, you can do read aloud and a written response when you do read aloud and have them respond in their journals or in the iPad. And then a strategy lesson, which is in your text and lessons book, and have them do 10 to 15 minutes writing that goes along with the lesson that you choose. And then finish it off with independent reading, and you can use a writing organizer to go along with their independent reading so you can see what they're reading and they can write out exactly what's going on in their books. On a Thursday, you can begin with read aloud, 10 minutes, and then begin with an extended writing activity. So you can choose one text set, which is from your text and lessons book, and then have students write a paragraph essay with introduction and so forth with that, and this will be about 20 minutes. And then independent reading, and then to end the hour, reflections and responses in journals. Friday, you're going to begin with read aloud, and then begin with a strategy lesson from your textbook, and then independent reading. And usually on Fridays it's a good day to introduce projects or have students begin to work on their projects, so then they have the weekend to also work on it. And then they will finish the hour with either a reflection or discuss the upcoming project. So the weekly amounts of reading, writing, and lessons that go into Reading Seminar, it's about 250 minutes in a week. For just reading itself, it's 85 minutes. Students should be doing at least 60 to 65 minutes of writing. And then lastly, using your text, the text and lessons book, Students should be doing at least a text set or a reading strategy lesson about 100 minutes a week. So now what a quarter would look like, and you can also repeat this for the second quarter since reading seminar is 2 quarters. Weeks 1 through 3, you set your routine and then follow what the typical day routine, which is what we talked about previously. Week 4, this is a good time to work on activities, presentations. You can either decide to have your kids do group presentations or individual presentations, depending on what kind of activity you have them do or project. Week 5, you can follow what also we did with the typical day routine, what you usually do. Week 6, work time and second presentation. You can decide if it's a group project or individual and have them present during this week. Week 7 through 8, follow what you do in a typical day routine, same thing as before. And then week 9, work time and third presentation. You can decide group or individual. I personally like individual most of the time because then you can really see what your kids have been reading and how they've been liking their books. So this is that book I've been talking about this whole time. It's called Text and Lessons for Content Area Reading, and this is where everything you're going to use for your mini lessons right after you do read aloud, this is where it all is. It's divided into 2 different parts, so half of it's going to be strategy lessons, and these are thinking and discussion activities, and there's 23 different strategies on there, and with each strategy there are different articles for you to focus on each individual strategy, and it's really easy. Everything is laid out word for word for you so you can see exactly how to follow the lesson and have your kids go through and learn the new strategy. And then the other part of it is a text set lesson, and these are usually longer lessons, but you can shorten them however you please. There are 10 different lessons, and they're built upon sequence of reading strategies, the ones they've learned before, and basically it's a certain topic, and there are all different types of articles that relate to that topic for you to use. So, a lot of these lessons in here align with the ACT ideas for progress. So an example is expressing judgments, which is taking a stand and having proof. So here are 3 different strategy lessons and the page numbers where you can find these. And like I said before, you literally just go on that page and it has it all laid out for you, and then go through the lesson and show the article and have your kids work through them. And then back to the disciplinary literacy standards. Here's an example of one of them that aligns with what's going on in the text and lessons. So WDL 6-8, this is an example. Write arguments about an issue of choice, support claims, maintain formal style, provide a conclusion. So there are 3 different strategy lessons you can use in your text and lessons book to align with the disciplinary literacy standards. And once again, the pages are there. Go open that book and it literally says word for word what to do. They're really easy to do. Don't get scared because you're like, oh, new lesson. I promise it will be okay. And then finally, resources available to you. In your packet you will be getting, there's so many things for you to use, from read aloud list. Like I said before, it literally will lay out all kinds of books for you to read aloud. A lot of these are good ones that I know your kids will like. Also, a lot of presentation and project ideas for you to use. I used a lot of these in my class last year, and I promise the kids will like them. And a lot of them do involve the iPad, which is good. Different kinds of activities to develop to standards. So a lot of these activities go with our disciplinary literacy standards that you can add in if you have extra time. There's also all the rubrics for the projects, and there's a reading minute rubric, a book talk rubric, etc. Literature information and text circles, graphic organizers, and writing prompts aligned to ACT progress are all available to you. Just open up that packet and they're in there. And that is it. Thank you.